Star player Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets has achieved a remarkable status in the city after winning a championship. Is he already among the top 20 players in the history of the game? At only 28, he remains one of the greatest players of all time. Nuggets general manager Calvin Booth adds, "There's so much more to go." Each player within the inner circle of the Hall of Fame is unique. They triumph and endure in the face of obstacles that generally plague everyone else, such as policies, plans, and the increasing pressure that accompanies a deep playoff run. Now among them is Nikola Jokic, a once-in-a-lifetime basketball wonder whose offensive skill set has left some of the smartest coaches absolutely perplexed. Following his 5-game winning streak against the Miami Heat, Jokic became just the 13th player in NBA history to win both a regular season MVP award and a title. Only 11 players have accomplished all of these things and also won MVP of the finals. These days, his achievements are the stuff of legend. His skill, strength, and cunning are visually resistant to clear classification. Take the best parts of Shaquille O'Neal, Tim Duncan, Magic Johnson, Dirk Nowitzki, Larry Bird, and Tim Duncan, and you have a pretty good idea of what Jokic is at this point in his career. A complete megastar who stands head and shoulders above his peers. I was immediately struck by the level of skill, the soft touch, the ball handling, and the ball passing. Michael Malone, the coach of the Nuggets, described him as a man who practices his profession. He's not just a man who does it when he turns up. I don't believe there is enough documentation of the amount of time he devotes to his game. Although he is 28 years old and his career is far from settled, his position in history is certain. What Jokic can eventually become is still difficult to comprehend after the Nuggets had an unprecedented run in the finals, losing just 4 games, never trailing in a series, forcing a potential super team to rebuild, and forcing LeBron James to consider retirement. Despite his lack of athleticism, the 7-footer uses both his body and mind to smash opponents into the ground. Almost every time the ball leaves his fingertips, he creates an efficient look by a shoot or pass, and goes wherever he wants, whenever he wants. During the regular season, Denver scored an incredible 124.2 points per 100 possessions with him on the court. They were still scoring 120.2 points per 100 possessions when he was on the court throughout the postseason. Both exhibit unconsciously efficient behavior. Just take a look at Jokic's stats from each round of this championship run. Jokic led all players in assists, rebounds, and points throughout the 2023 postseason. That is unprecedented. He also made a good majority of his shots. A player with a true shooting percentage above 60.0 has never finished a playoff season, averaging at least 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. Jokic passed all the tests with ease. This run was historic. After Game 5, Michael Porter Jr. remarked, "I don't know how you can say he's not the best big man ever. He is among the greatest basketball players of all time. It doesn't matter what people think. He's among the greatest players that have ever played this game, in my opinion." A jubilant Calvin Booth expressed the same message in Denver's victorious post-game dressing room. The Nuggets general manager, drenched from head to toe, paused to consider what he had just witnessed his franchise center do over the previous few months as champagne cascaded down from the ceiling. Jokic was so concentrated and locked in. Booth told the Ringer, "I think everyone realized that we had an opportunity to do something special, and he led the charge." At only 28, he remains one of the greatest players of all time. There is still so much to do. With his 31.5 per in these playoffs, Jokic is tied for the 6th best performance in NBA history. Only LeBron and Michael Jordan are higher. His lifetime playoff per of 29.1 is the highest ever, hands down. Jokic's postseason win shares per 48 minutes rank is equal to 4th place when we just consider what previous players have accomplished before turning 29. This is behind Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Wilt Chamberlain. Not too bad. Although there are no cumulative counting statistics, his 3-season peak is almost as high as it gets for any player. His 10 postseason triple-doubles this season are 3 more than Chamberlain's previous NBA record, and they clearly matter. Triple-doubles garner attention. His unmatched productivity and complete dominance in almost every aspect of the game are measured by gaudy figures. However, when you take into account his unique influence, which defies analogy throughout time and space, they practically become insignificant. Hollywood comes in first, ahead of Stella Adler and Lee Strasberg. Jokic comes in second. According to Nuggets forward Aaron Gordon, Joker is redefining the game. It's going to become increasingly common to see players of all sizes who can perform all tasks. Similar to how Magic Johnson redefined the point guard position, he is shattering that mold. By being more than just the dominant player on the block, he is shattering the stereotype of the center position. He is now in control of the floor from 40 feet away. How do you stop the greatest post player of all time, the greatest passer, the greatest rebounder, and someone who just made 46.1% of his three-pointers in the past season? How do you hold up defensively against an elite group of offensive players who never needed more than a play or two to adjust when the opposing team changed up their coverage? What's the IQ limit like? When he was standing at his locker following Game 4 in Miami, Porter inquired. His basketball IQ puts him up there, no matter what the number is, like the limit. I think that's the best way to put it. One of the best high-volume scorers ever is Jokic. He is also a combination of Karl Malone and John Stockton, when running the pick and roll, Chris Paul in the open floor, and Hakeem Olajuwon on the block. Jokic will deliver the best result regardless of the offensive system, which depends on his ability to read plays before they happen and his continual dangerous status off the ball. He moves at his own pace and is always meticulous, never hurrying. He does incredibly difficult tasks with an irritating air of ease whenever he has the ball. Heat center Bam Adebayo stated, Jokic is very unique because he brings a different style of game and different type of pace to the game. It cannot be scouted. It is what it is, really. Jokic gets along with every single one of his teammates in a fluid, unwavering, anticipatory, and synergistic manner. Many people in the NBA are driven to make the best decision every time they come into contact with the ball. Jokic, nevertheless, is the most reliable at it. He has a generous mindset. His philosophy, the open man wins the game, is consistent with the notion that two people feel ecstatic when someone assists them, but only one is satisfied after taking a shot. Both on and off the court, Jokic almost seems to be the opposite of the contemporary franchise player. He is humble, ego-free, and genuinely happy for his supporting cast members to succeed. Not everyone who is deserving of the title of greatest basketball player in the world has such attributes. Tim Duncan and Steph Curry are maybe the only suitable comparisons in recent memory. According to Jeff Green, a 15-year veteran and lifelong friend, Jokic has a modest and considerate nature. He's a very grounded human being overall. Great. Jokic recently responded, "It's hard to say because sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not." When asked if he is the best player on the Nuggets, "That's fine with me. It seems that everyone else is okay with that. I have a lot of control over the ball. Therefore, I make a lot of decisions. However, I'm not sure if I'll be the best player." For an organization that may be beginning a dynastic run, that type of selflessness is significant. Free agents will want to play alongside Jokic in the future. This season, when he was on the court with other players in Denver's rotation, every member in the rotation had a higher effective field goal percent. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, don't forget to hit that like button below. And if you want to stay updated with more great content like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel by clicking the red button and ringing the notification bell so you never miss any future content from us. Your support means the world to us.